Hello, universe, or any of its parallel realms. Let's take a look at the Ghostbusters universe. Or a little piece of the Ghostbusters universe. Or perhaps just some Ghostbusters as portrayed by Mattel. Yeah, I want to take a look at some Ghostbusters action figures. In fact, I'm going to unbox 2 of them. And I do plan to take a look at more Ghostbusters action figures in the near future. But this time, I'm just going to start with 2 of them. That's right. Right here we have the Mattel, by Mattel. The Mattel-made Ghostbusters action figures. Yeah. Okay, let's take her easy on the toys. Yeah, she's not harming anything, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. All right. I don't know what to say. What do you think? Huh? Yeah. Ghostbusters. When I first saw these, I saw a lot of Peter Venkman and a small number of Ray Stantz and Winston Zeddemore. No Egon Spengler. I wanted Egon Spengler because they're done in the style of the movies and the more recent video game. The realistic, they're not cartoon version. And my favorite Ghostbuster was always Peter Venkman, or at least it was mostly thanks to the cartoon. But if you remove the real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters from the mix, if we were to just focus on the Ghostbusters movies and the video game, I suppose my favorite Ghostbuster would actually be Egon Spengler, and maybe Raymond Stantz in very close second. Peter Venkman's only my favorite thanks to the animated series. And so I wanted Egon Spengler, but there were no Egon Spenglers, but there were a whole lot of Peter Venkmans. So I got a Ray Stantz. And then when I went back again, there was no Winston Zeddemores. It was all Peter Venkman the second time I went there. And I picked up a second one. I wanted more than one. I was considering collecting them all. I just didn't want to get them all at once. As you can see, more than one language for Ray Stantz and Peter Venkman. And they come with, it makes the Ghostbusters logo if you have all those pieces. You can see Peter Venkman has the part that crosses out the ghost. I believe is it Egon with a head? I'm not sure. I think Egon comes with the head. I'm not sure, but Ray gets the body, and I think Winston gets the stand. But anyway, this is your Ghostbusters figures by Mattel. I always think of I always associate Mattel with Masters of the Universe. Was Playmates had Ninja Turtles, and Kenner had the real Ghostbusters. And it just seems weird over the more recent years I've seen Mattel making Ghostbuster stuff, and it just always seemed weird to me. I also remember Mattel being on the Nintendo the Nintendo consoles. I also remember Irwin being on was it Irving? I think it was Irwin being on some of the older Sega stuff. Yep. But there we have it. There we have Ghostbusters toys. And I'm going to unbox them. I'm going to attempt to do it in a way that minimizes the damage to the actual box itself. Why not? Maybe I'll want to stick them back in the box. Maybe not. So I get Ray Stantz, and then when I went back they only had Peter Venkman, so I got a Peter Venkman. But Peter Venkman is kind of my favorite Ghostbuster. But if I were to be playing the video game, I kind of hold preference to Egon and Ray. In the movies, I kind of hold a little preference to Ray. Even though the movies were kind of written like Peter Venkman and his Ghostbuster pals, like it was such a heavy focus on Peter. Still, I like the other characters. But in the animated series, yeah, Peter Venkman was absolutely my favorite character in the animated series. However, here we have it, Ghostbusters. So I guess we'll do some unboxing. Don't stand on the toys. Alright, there we go. I think the camera's fairly straight. It looks a little bit off because, well, it's tilted downward a bit, but it's just part of what we need. We need the angle. Don't we? Yeah. You gonna give me enough space to sit here? Alright, cat. There we go. Oh, it's Peter Venkman is the first one I grabbed. Yeah, I dropped the knife I was going to use for cutting the tape. So let's see. Which side should I open? Huh? No. Don't go picking at the Ghostbusters. Don't go swatting at the Ghostbusters. I'm just looking at it. There's tape there. And I think it's... Let's see, there's tape there. If I open this side, I think... What is it? What is it? Do you want to open the Ghostbuster? No. Just gonna cut the tape here. There we go. Alright. Just gonna... Ooh, thrilling stuff. I cut a piece of tape. Alright. Now, oop, it opens good. It opened. Now let's see. Get it out of the box. It's coming out of the box. It's out of the box. Alright, now how well does this portray the character from the video games and the movies? Let's see, well, it's not necessarily a perfect likeness, but it's a decent one. There's the part for making the Ghostbusters logo. Yes, I'm gonna move that. I'm moving that. Yes, I'm moving that. Hey look, it's Peter Venkman. It's Peter Venkman. It's Dr. Peter fucking Venkman, man. Oh, there's a fair bit of detail in the proton pack back there. Yeah. We still haven't gotten to Ray Stantz yet. No, we haven't. Alright. Now, see if we can pop Peter out of this, isn't it? No, just this way the plastic shape. Does plastic sound like food to you? Are you used to hearing plastic bags so much that you think, yum, I'm going to eat that? No, you're not going to eat that. You don't need that kind of roughage. Alright, let's see it. Alright, before I just go forcing the plastic, I might pop Ray Stantz out of... Do you mind? I'm doing something here. That's not food. That's not food. Look at it. Yeah, you're all excited for Dr. Peter Venkman. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to open Ray Stantz now. That's our Peter Venkman. Yeah. Alright. Come here. Whee! There you go. Yeah. Wasn't very far to go, so it wasn't. Alright, so I know which side is probably the best side to open it. See, if I open it here, there's that curve, so you can probably get the stuff out easier from this side over here. And that turned out to be correct. Alright. So, alright. We're now performing surgery on the Ray Stantz. There we go. 1 cut. 2 cuts. And the box comes open. Pull out. Here comes Dr. Raymond Stantz. This is part of the Ghost logo there. Let's see if Ray Stantz is confined to his plastic as well as Peter was. Jammed in there pretty good. Don't want to just force it. For thin plastic, hey, you can tell that the straps on the backpack are their own, for the proton pack. You can tell that they're their own material, huh? Alright, there's detail. Fair bit of detail in the proton blaster. I'm looking for the... See where it switches on there, I'm not sure. But... Come on, pop out of there, Ray. We're part way. Oh. unboxing for these characters because they're really in the plastic really good there. Like, I mean, like... Oh, fuck, is he glued? What the hell? Oh, there's... That's... I didn't even notice that. Yeah, there's a strand of stuff that's almost like glue that... Now I see that. But I'd have to take the oh yeah, alright, I might be able to stretch it off of his arm. If his arm comes off the proton gun there. Let's see. I move him this way. And I pull that way. Come on, Ray, I'm trying to untie you. Trying to unshackle Ray from this weird ectoplasmic. There we go. Alright. Yeah. And there's the thing that... I guess the proton blaster must come out of his hand, because this thing worked its way into his hand. Hey, it's the Ray Stantz Christmas ornament. Oh my. Yeah. Okay, which way would that go? Oh, there we go. Well, there's some degrees of articulation. Let's see. Can the proton blaster come out of his hand? Should be able to. Cable that goes from his leg. I'm trying to recognize him. Right, that's part of his backpack, or the belt that he can. It looks like he can take the proton pack off. I'm not going to force it off at the moment, and he can articulate his hand into the right position. He should be able to grab hold of the proton blaster with his other hand if I just move that the right way. Let's see. The hand that way a little bit. I don't want to force anything because I've done things like this before. I remember Gozer was a bit fragile when the Gozer figure that was made years before this was made. Yeah, the plastic feels slightly flexible in addition to the joints that allow for the articulation, you know, but it's not like soft flexible. It just feels like it would bend a little bit before it would break. Now this foot is jointed, but this foot looks jointed, but there we go. All right. Here a bit of detail on the proton blaster or neutrona wand, and yes, it is pronounced neutrona. Now, there is a particle called neutrinos. Neutrinos don't interact with very much. They're very, they tend to fly through the Earth all the time, not interacting with matter at all. But neutronas, what are neutrinos? I always thought the neutronas was a slang for nucleon, like just a general term for protons and neutrons. But that they were just... that's what I always thought the Ghostbusters were referencing when they said neutrona. But it also could be a term for the type of workings, you know, the settings or something that Egon and Ray made up when they were developing the Ghostbuster gear. Some sort of reference to some sort of power or characteristic of the protons and neutrons that the beams might emit. Mostly protons. They're proton packs. They're considered... it's a beam of energy that is charged by protonic energy. They could very well just be plasma that has a very strong positive charge. That would be proton charging, you know. This positive charge is the protons are the primary particle. Hey, it's Ray Stantz. See that little cat? Yes, Zoey. Yes, I'm Joey and this is Zoey, and we're playing with little Ray Stantz. But yeah, it's actually a pretty decent figure. And should I take another look at Dr. Peter Venkman? We have a little time left. Let's see. You have Venkman strapped in too. He's got that same thing kind of holding them in place back there. And the plastic is really molded around him pretty good. Hell, even I can get that foot out. I can get that foot out. That's one foot out. I have to take his hand off of the proton blaster to unhook him as well. And just like before, I don't want to force anything. Alright. Come on, Peter. Move your hand. Alright. Then we're going to have to... Alright. I suppose I could just cut that little plastic thing. That might be the easiest way. It's like a rubber band, but it's not really rubber. Actually, I think I can slide it off over his hand. Oh, maybe I can't. Alright. Alright. It's a tenacious... Wow, it's tenacious. It's there. There. That is a real durable rubber band-like material, but not rubber band, plastic band. The plastic's like around his head, just far enough that there. Once you get them part way, and there we go. It still has them. It's still there. Yeah. Well, putting them back in the plastic takes a lot of damage getting them out. There we have Peter Venkman. He wears his pant legs over his boots, while Ray tucks his pant legs into his boots. That's the difference. That's the biggest difference. That's not. They have different faces and heads and... Alright, let's see. If I can get this out of his hand. Alright, there's the proton blaster. And here's his proton pack. It seems to be bent just a little bit. There, I think I straightened it. There's the proton blaster. Proton pack with its various details, such as the wires on the back and all that. His wrists articulate a little bit there. Alright. Peter's got his proton gun. There we go. So we've unboxed Raymond Stantz and Peter Venkman. If I get Egon Spengler and Winston Zeddemore, I'll be sure to unbox them too. You can see the detail in them. We're in Peter Venkman here. before I put everything away, I discovered something in with Ray Stantz and Ray Stantz package. I didn't find the equivalent in Peter's, but within Ray's it was like almost like some instructions or a little note. As you can see, it says Mattel on it, and it opens. It's more than one page, but one-handed, holding a camera in the other. There we go. Has multiple languages on it. Talks about putting together the Ghostbuster logo thing. That a piece of it comes with each figure. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it only came with one of them. Anyway, there we have it. This came with the Ray Stantz, but I didn't find one with Peter Venkman. It's the giant terror cat. It's the friendly cat. We're going for a ride on the cat. That'd be more appropriate if these were Masters of the Universe. Battle Cat. Zoey. Something else I discovered is they have copyright information on their asses. I'm not sure if you can make that out, but looks like it's 2009. 2009, huh? They copyrighted Dr. Peter Venkman's and Raymond Stantz's asses. Yeah. 2009 Mattel. Yeah, it's 2009. Made in China, Mattel. Your ass was made in China. And then this only came with Ray Stantz. See this? This is Ray Stantz's Proton Pack. I took off his Proton Pack, and I don't know if you can tell, but it has some copyright information in it, and it says 2011. Yep. You can remove the Ghostbusters Proton Packs. Alright, so anyway, here we have them. Ray Stantz and Peter Venkman in a different, well, Ray Stantz without the Proton Pack, and Peter Venkman. See, you can stick the Proton Pack onto the, well, you can stick the, I should say the Proton Gun, or Neutrona Wand. Yes, it is pronounced Neutrona. No, it's not named after neutrinos. It's a Ghostbusters term for their Ghostbusters technology. I always thought it had something to do with nucleons. Nucleons, can I pronounce that right? You know, the collectively protons and neutrons, but whatever. Yeah, there we go. Peter Venkman with the Proton Pack, well, with the Proton Gun put back on his Proton Pack. There we have him. And Ray Stantz without the Proton Pack. Yep, there we have them. Representations of Ghostbusters in action figure form. Cool. I like it. Surrender your starship in the name of the Eggman Empire. All your phase pistols have been locked down and your security officers are locked off the bridge. Well, I have already called in my reinforcements. Come on, Ray. A few blasts of protons will knock out his electronics. Ray? Where are you, Ray? Something happened to my proton pack. I don't know where it is.
It's showtime!
Oh shit, Pete! He's got my proton pack! Ah! That guy who plays me in the movie, he looks nothing like me. Alright, since I began editing this video, I eventually did get a chance to get another Ghostbusters action figure. Egon Spengler. Actually, if I had more money, I would have got both Egon Spengler and Winston Zedman. However, I didn't have the right amount of disposable cash at the time, but I did manage to find and acquire Egon Spengler, which was the Ghostbuster I was looking for first. So, yep, here's Egon. Egon will be unboxed at a future time.